Good evening from Cornell, which is a suburb on the south shore of Botany Bay. I came here about 2.5 weeks ago because I'd seen on Google Maps something about Captain Cook's landing place. So I thought, okay, that's a pretty significant spot in Australian history if this is where Captain Cook first landed. But the monument, which I can actually see just in the background, is actually closed off at the moment. But what I did find when I came here 2 weeks ago was this really gorgeous sculpture, which I'm going to go and see tonight. I'm sitting just on a bench right now because I changed into jeans. I brought these jeans with me because last time I was here I got swarmed by sandflies. I couldn't stay still for more than a couple of seconds on the beach. So I've actually got my jeans tucked into my socks just to be extra sure, and I've got a jacket on too. So I just came and sat on this bench and to put my jeans on over the jersey shorts I'm wearing. Unfortunately it's really kind of messy over here. People have not been cleaning up after themselves. There's a whole heap of litter over by that bush. It's such a shame. But the reason I'm here today is the 21st of December, so here in the southern hemisphere it's the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And this sculpture that I found, which is right next to the monument, just on the beach, on the shoreline, well, I'll go over there and I'll explain it a bit better. I had been planning to come here basically ever since my first visit to the place a couple of weeks ago. But the bus timetable on a Saturday is only once an hour, and the last bus departure from here leaves at 8:18 p.m. and sunset is at 8:06 p.m. And the reason why that's significant is I'm here because I thought when I was here before that it would be great to come here at sunset or sunrise if the sun was visible through the sculpture, which will make sense when you see it in a couple of minutes. This is what Botany Bay looks like now, which is very different from what Captain Cook would have seen. I'm actually really surprised that this sculpture is not better known. I would not have known about it, and I would have thought that all the photographers in Sydney would have had the same idea as I've had to come here at the solstice. I used the app Photo Pills to work out that the sun would be setting in line with the sculpture today. And I don't know if that was by design, if it's made to face the sun on the solstice. I imagine it's probably not, but I was pleased to find out that the sun does set in line with it just a small handful of days a year. And I could have come yesterday, I could have come tomorrow, but the reason I wanted to come today is firstly, the sun is in the best position, but also low tide happens to coincide with sunset. And when I looked at this place on Google Maps after coming here before, some of the photos showed that at high tide, the water actually comes up over the sculpture, which is actually a really cool effect because that is the sculpture, and it's made to look like one of the ships that came here. Basically, it's the what do you call it? The bits that make up the hull. There's a name for them, I think. There's also that over there, which is slightly awkward to get to. I did go and try to look at it last time, but it was basically unreadable. It looks like it's a really old flag. You can see planes taking off from the airport here as well, on the other side of the bay. I'm in the middle of the sculpture now, and it's got these engravings in it. I never looked at what they all were last time, but this one seems to be native plants, is my guess. I know some of them have quotes. From what I've said of the natives of New Holland, they may appear to some to be the most wretched people upon earth, but in reality, they are far more happier than we Europeans. They live in a tranquility which is not disturbed by the inequality of condition. The earth and sea of their own accord furnishes them with all things necessary for life. Diary of Lieutenant James Cook, 23rd of August, 1770. I think this is a really beautiful sculpture, and it's a shame it's not better known, but at the same time, I'm glad I have the place to myself right now. There's more native plants on this one. It is quite cloudy, and that's a slight concern of mine because I don't want the sun to disappear before it's visible through the sculpture, and if that happens, it happens. It's unfortunate because lately we have had a lot of clear sky, and if today is the one day of the week where it gets cloudy, then that's just typical, but I wanted to try anyway, and the sky is looking really pretty, I think, so even if this photo mission fails, at least I've got to see a nice sunset, because I will never get bored of watching sunsets. As we approached the shore, they all made off except two men who seemed resolved to oppose our landing. It is definitely not looking promising cloud-wise, which is a disappointment. It was kind of cool to watch that plane go past the sculpture, because it's like the old mode of transport and the new mode of transport together in one frame, in one view. It's another one. A quantity of darts lay about the huts. These we took away with us. Here we left several articles, such as cloth, looking glasses, combs, beads, nails. I am starting to wish that I brought my tripod here. I thought it probably wasn't worth carrying it because my backpack was already full, so it was kind of heavy because I had to bring the jacket and the jeans, and it's such a long journey to get here. The trains weren't even running. I had to get a replacement bus part of the way, so I didn't bring my tripod. But something like that, I just think it looks so cool when there's a person for scale, and obviously I'm here alone, so if I was going to get that shot, I would have to be that person, and the ground is just too low to rest my camera on without a tripod. So I don't know if I'm going to manage that. I'll have to untuck my jeans before I get a photo as well, because how bad would that look? Well, sunset is in about 3 minutes now, and the clouds have won the evening. So it didn't go as planned, but I'm actually really happy with how it went, and the sun didn't actually seem to be aligning with the sculpture anyway. I don't know if it was just coming in at more of an angle than I realised, and by the time it hits the horizon it would be in line with the sculpture, or if I just somehow misread the app or the app got it wrong. It seems I'm the only person in the entirety of Sydney who had the idea to come here on the solstice, because people just don't know about it. I mean, I don't know, I never knew about it. I can't linger and enjoy the evening because I have to go back to the bus stop. If I miss this bus, I have no way home. I managed to avoid the sand flies. I haven't actually seen any really, but my legs have been safe from them. I did manage to get some self shots, kind of with me standing on one part of the sculpture for scale, and I'm hoping that some of them look good. I'm not much of a model, and it was taken from a low angle because I had to rest my camera on one of the last curves of the sculpture, so it was a picture of the sculpture with me for scale but minus one curve because that's what my camera was sitting on. But the low angle actually looked really cool, so not having my tripod turned out to be fine in the end. I took 2 lots of them because in the first lot I was facing away from the camera. My jeans looked kind of bunched up because I've got my shorts under them, and I don't know if that's what I was seeing, but it just didn't look quite right, so I did the rest kind of facing forward. I'll take a look at them when I get home, or maybe tomorrow, because it's going to be late by the time I get home and I'm pretty tired today.